Nova Online's life is spiraling out of control, even more so lately than usual. From endless betrayal by his friends to new revelations about his mother's health, Gabe's life has been pretty nuts for the past couple of months. But just recently something happened that takes things to a whole new level, and it was called the Novine takeover. It seemed that local residents and TikTok users had grown tired of Nova's antics, so they decided to peacefully protest in front of his home. All of this was made even crazier by the fact that Gabe was live at the time, so we got to see his initial reaction to people showing up.
There's a few YouTube comments that ended up in the harassment files admitting to... Oh shit-ish. Oh shit-ish. Oh shit-ish. They're here. Someone's right outside of my property. Shit-ish. Oh shit-ish. They're here. Oh. Don't talk shit-ish about my dog. Oh, you're not. Camera. Fucking camera.
So Nova hears the takeover going down and decides to rush outside after ending his stream. But this is not the end of the footage from the event, because of course participants of the peaceful protest were filming too, and what they caught on camera was a not too happy Nova, who started flipping people off and threatening to call the police.
Camera. Camera.
Hey, Nova, look at camera. Oh my goodness.
Did you not hear about the takeover?
Can we come in?
Told you this would happen.
Holy shit.
He's so close.
Okay, go say hi.
Oh, yeah, the big N. There's his house. Yeah, his...
No, it's that one.
Oh, wait. Okay. Hold on.
Flip the camera. Flip the camera, man!
Nova Online house. You're outside with your dogs.
What the fuck?
Get 'em, boys. It looks like the cops were just late. There was like a couple cops on the road, like 4 blocks back that were heading out, so...
It seemed that the Novine takeover was just as concerning for Gabe's neighbor as it was for him. I can't really say I blame the guy. It's gotta be absolute hell living next to Gabe. If you want to hear more from him, check out my last video. But during an interview that he did with Bloodspeth, he thoroughly described his experience being Gabe's neighbor, and it was just as unpleasant as you'd think. There have actually been quite a few interviews going on in the Novine universe. Those who were close to Nova previously often do interviews with Bloodspeth after breaking their ties, and it was no different when Nova's newest business associate decided to turn on him. For a couple of weeks, Gabe has been talking about a business associate that he has, and nobody really knew much until she came forward to do an interview. One that revealed some pretty shocking information. She would start by revealing that her and Gabe had known each other less than a month, while also describing just what it's like to be an employee of Gabriel Gage.
So he wound up, I'm not going to say he made me, because like, I am my own person, but he wound up sending me links from his personal number, just Amazon, like, oh, here's a paracord kit, here's the rig you have to do it on. And I did wind up purchasing those items to help him, and he like at that point, because I'm helping him and he seems like really like just chill about it, like we're doing the support thing together and whatnot, and it's been going well. And at that we played Fortnite before that, like it was all chill up to this point. There was genuinely nothing weird, so I was so confused what people still meant about anything, because he was very chill, no inappropriate things, just weird. It was just like, oh, I'm in pain. Again, it's like, it's very just random. I don't know why you told me this, but hey, are you okay? Like, sorry, I feel bad. And, you know, that night, again, going back to that, that's when he taught me how to make the paracords. And then I was trying to be like, okay, I'm tired. I'm gonna hop off after he showed me the first one. Then he'd go, no, you need to stay so I can show you the next one. And then he showed. This was at this point it was like 3 a.m. because we got on at like 9. I stayed all the way up to 5 a.m. So he showed me a second weave. I think that's like the shark jawbone, whatever it's called. And I was like, okay, that's cool. He's like, you think you could do this? I'm like, yeah, I can do that one. And then then I did the same thing. Like, I'm going to hop off. I'm just really tired. And then he's like, no, you have to stay for this one too. I was on camera at that point. And I was like, it doesn't matter. He's seen me at this point. So we're just chilling, talking. And he's just doing the paracords. And when he saw that, he's like, oh my, you're so fucking pretty. You're so, that was like, yeah, thanks. Like, it was a little more awkward because it's like not face to face, but face to face. That wasn't too weird. And then he mentioned, I thought as a joke at first, he's like, oh, you should come down to Idaho.
When asked about how much she knew on Nova's past, she feigned ignorance, claiming that what little she knew she took to be fake. And she would also claim that once she found out about some of Nova's wider crimes, that it was her reasoning behind betraying Gabe.
So I made that Galaxy Twitter, first Twitter I've made. No clue how to use Twitter, but Nova kind of helped me with that. And that was just to have and to reply to stuff and whatnot. And just, it was really he said to make sure to stay up to date with the trolls, but don't follow them. So like I was an idiot. I didn't think about that. So like I followed a couple of them, and I guess he saw that on my account, and I think he was angry. I'm not quite sure how he came off in text, but he was just like, don't follow them. So I was like, okay, yeah, my bad. I unfollowed them, and I was like, how do you keep tabs on them then? And then he said, oh, they're in my search bar. So it's like, okay, I just did that. At this point, there were some people messaging like in the comments that there's like, it was only actually 2 or 3 because like no one saw that account yet. It's like, oh, why are you working with this guy? He's a pred, and oh, he's a creep. And then there was, that was mainly just it. And I didn't have actual proof at that point, so I was like, it got too hot in the kitchen for me, honestly, but it's whatever. So I was like a little on edge at that point. Wound up, I got some more messages, and I believe I replied to one. I don't quite remember what it was because I did get rid of that account because that's like when I caught off Nova. Someone commented, there was a couple people, and they said like, well, you don't know any of this, and I was like, no, I haven't seen anything crazy. Can you guys show me? And then this one person said like, oh yeah, just look up the Nova files, because that will give you everything you need. And then I was like, okay, thank you. Like I will watch that. And he directed me to a guy starting with an S on there, Solidus. I think that, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So he directed me to that, like, oh, Solidus is all the information.
Okay.
And I did post something like, if and when I see tangible evidence, I will take Bloodspeth up on that interview.
Nova had tried to stop her from watching negative videos on him, particularly the Nova Files, which is a deeper examination of his infamous Twinkle Twinkle video, and he tried to hide this from her for good reason, because she claimed that after viewing it, she was no longer interested in a working relationship or any kind of relationship with Gabe. But that doesn't mean he wasn't able to pull his usual shenanigans on her before she cut contact. She would reveal that Gabe would often solicit her for fast food items, something that he's been documented doing heavily in the past.
I'm ordering him DoorDash, he's asking for stuff. And there's still nothing like what I would call weird. So he was talking to me, and he told me that, oh, don't tell anyone I'm telling you this stuff, until I figured out, like, oh no, he's telling everyone this stuff, that he doesn't have money, his mom's on like state government assistance or something. His main source is TikTok, and he said he doesn't get anything from that. So my brain was kind of like, oh, at least like get him food, like that's not too hard. I've done that for multiple people. It's just common sense to me. And so that started with just like a couple things. And yes, he did hit me with the, can you get like a Dr. Pepper, like surprise me kind of thing. And it was really strange because I would throw ideas, like, because I don't know what you want. Like, oh, you want this? No. Do you want this? No, I'm too tired of chicken. And he said no to like 4 things. So I'm like, okay, so it's not a surprise. And then he like asks, oh, do you see a specific food place? And I was like, yeah.
This reminds me of just a while ago when we were discussing the infamous orange soda meltdown video, where after threatening himself, he begged Alice for snacks from 7-Eleven. I'm not even joking when I say Gabe will emotionally manipulate people to get food, and this business partner is just one of many people that have fallen victim to this scam. But this is far from the most shocking thing said in the interview. That would actually come when she was asked why she bought Nova food in the first place, and her response was completely unexpected.
He told me at this time his mother had gangrene. She got her foot amputated on her birthday.
Shit.
And so she's not there. He said like his aunt comes by a little bit. One time he's like, oh, she came to cut the grass. But like, I was not informed that he had any kind of food. It sounded like he didn't. So I just kept just delivering him just DoorDash, whatever I could from here.
Okay.
It was out of concern too at this. It's still because like I started that before knowing anything. So I was like, oh, I just want to make sure he's fed. It seems like it was just a very sad story.
With the
But I did
pity.
find out also that he actually did tell other people. So he was just saying like, don't tell anyone, but he told like a ton of other people. So I wasn't special or anything. Every other message, was, I'm sad, I'm hurt, my back hurts, I'm hungry. So that was like, I would, consider that pity.
Nova's mom has been in very poor health for the past couple of years, and Gabe has done next to nothing to help her. He's unable to transport her to doctor's appointments, unable to cook her a healthy meal, and most importantly, unwilling to treat her with common decency and respect. Not only does Nova mistreat his mother, but he acts like she is mistreating him. Learning that Nova's mom had gangrene so bad that she allegedly had to get her foot amputated is shocking, but sadly not surprising. Whether it's the absolute garbage that Gabe brings home calling it food, or the literal garbage in the house, the infection came about some way. Cases of gangrene are not typically associated with highly hygienic individuals, and we have been made more than aware of the mountains of animal feces that reside within the Gage household. Nova's mom is disabled, and the house is in absolutely no condition to meet her needs, but instead of helping her out and cleaning up, Gabe was fantasizing about moving away with his new business partner, planning to abandon his extremely ill mother.
Yeah, it went both ways. The first plan was because he wound up saying like, I'm scared I'm gonna get kicked out. I don't do anything for my mom. I'm useless. And he went on the kind of little tangent of just like self-deprecating. And he's like, I really need to make a plan. We need to really make a plan if I get kicked out, and then we need to make a plan A and a plan B, and then we can add or take away from it as we go. And then he wound up saying, originally it was, I'm gonna move down to you. It would be cheaper for you to drive here anyway. And because he can't he can't pay a flight unless he got an excess order of paracord, is what he said. I would stay the night at like a hotel if I got kicked out, and then you can drive down and pick me up because I need to bring a lot of my stuff. And he started listing off like his setup, his PC, a PS5, just common heavy things. And then he said like, oh, I need to bring one more thing. And that's when he said like, I'll bring the trike. That's when he first said like, we need to make a plan A and B and then add and take from it as we go. So the first one that I thought was a joke was about 2 weeks in, but like nothing ever happened after that. So it's like a laugh, haha, like, no, I'm not gonna, well, it was a joke, I thought, because I'm not gonna move down there to be the paracord guy. Like, I'm not moving down there and uprooting my life. But it seemed like a joke, so it's like, that was nothing. And then the actual plan was it was very close to the ending of me blocking him off. So I want to say about like 5-6 days ago. And then so he he wound up saying like, oh, there's so much cool stuff in Idaho. And then he asked me like, what do you have that's keeping you from not moving? And I was like, I still have my family. I take care of my family when they're sick and whatnot. I still have my parents. And he's like, oh, family, that makes sense. And then that's when he flipped it to like, I can come down to you. And then that's when it was like you can drive.
The coworker would also reveal that this was not the first time Gabe had planned on moving away. The person that Gabe calls his brother is most likely a person that he met in a family role-playing Discord server, but Nova calls him his brother nonetheless. Well, initially the plan was to move with his brother to California, but that fell through after one of their more recent arguments, causing Gabe to make the coworker his backup plan.
I was talking to him because his mother's now in the hospital. He said his aunt comes over a little bit. And I was asking, do you have a plan if something happens, no one comes back to pay the bill, and you're just stuck there? And he's like, yeah, I originally had a plan to move with my brother, which he then told me like isn't his actual brother, and he's in Cali, I believe. I didn't know much about his brother. He mentioned it twice. And it was, the first one was just when we were on a call, and he was, what he said, ghost calling him, I guess, was like just nonstop. And he was like, oh my fucking God, he's calling me. And I know that he just said like they didn't have a relationship anymore, and he was calling nonstop. I was like, maybe you should answer it. Like you wanted to make amends, and if he's calling this much, because this was after the takeover. So he wanted to check up on him, is what Nova said.
I also want to make it very clear that Gabe wasn't messing around. He was completely serious, constantly talking in private about how he was afraid of getting kicked out, slowly pressuring this coworker in the direction of moving in with him.
Because we jumped into the voice call with him showing me how to weave the certain paracords, and it was very he was pushing it a lot. Still thought it was. Like, I mean, at that point, it didn't seem like a joke because he was fully planning it. But first he mentioned it once, like, yeah, it'd be really cool if you moved down here. And then, like, he went quiet about that. We were just talking, weaving paracords. Or he was weaving paracords and showing me. And then he wanted to come back to it and going, I'm sorry if I'm being pushy, but, like, it'd be really cool if you moved down here. And he did something like that about, like, 2 or 3 other times. Oh, sorry if I'm being annoying, but you should move in with me. Oh, sorry if I'm being annoying, but I think it'd be really cool if you came down here. Sorry if I'm annoying, but like there's really cool stuff down here, and like it just kept like that's just what it was. That was the gist of it. He did get really pushy in that call, and that it started becoming more and more frequently, and it was clear that it was no longer a joke. And he seemed like it sounded like he would just be like, yeah, no, let's go right now. Like it was very much planning, not like even if he's getting kicked out. It sounded to me like, hey, let's make this a thing as soon as possible.
This woman also claimed that Gabe was extremely flirty towards her, along with the fact that he paid her in Dash Pass, even offering to pay her in paracord bracelets. It was an absolute mess, and she didn't really have her story straight. I don't buy for a second that this individual didn't know who Gabe was before they decided to work with him. I think that now they are just trying to mitigate the criticism that they will receive. They've expressed their fears of Gabe doxing them in the future, so my assumption is that this is meant to lighten that blow when it inevitably comes. If you'd like to see the full interview, I've linked it in the description. It's definitely worth the watch to get all the small details if you have the time. But for now, I want to take it back a couple of weeks. Usually in my Nova videos, I like to keep things chronological, but I think that the takeover and the coworker interview recontextualize a lot of things that were said and done in those past weeks. Comments about his paracord business, fights with his mother, him worrying about the coming takeover, and of course, the endless betrayal by people messaging him on Discord. We go back to about the beginning of June when Gabe was seen taking a photograph in what is believed to be a hospital or some sort of clinic, with many assuming that this was in reference to his mother's health. And only a couple of days later, new leaks come out with someone Nova was messaging on Discord. And it's mostly just him bitching about how terrible his life is. I just want to know, how the fuck am I still alive after all this negativity I receive? I've been saying I should go fuck myself for the past 2 weeks because of all this. And what do I get in return for trying to entertain? Shit. Actual shit. I am sick and tired of this bullshit, and I can't escape because no one wants to hire me. The leaker then tells Nova to take a break from social media, and Gabe responds, I would if someone would hire my ass. It's literally how I make my money. Without it, I'd be even more depressed, and probably would be dead on the streets. We then get some miscellaneous messages also of him complaining. I'm sick and tired of everything at this point. Fuck me. I lost another friend. People who thought they were my friends turning out to be utter assholes. I'm sick of being unemployed. If it weren't for my trolls, I'd still be at Walmart. FML. A quick little side note, trolls have never been the reason for any of his firings. It has usually been to incompetence. He then goes on with once again dealing with threats of being kicked out, with nowhere to go. He's been talking about being kicked out for months. I truly believe it's a scare tactic for Mama Gage to try and get him to clean up, but he always calls her bluff. Nova then starts talking about the mysterious pain in his leg. I am once again dealing with an immense amount of leg pain, and I want it to fucking stop. When told to go to the doctor, Gabe responds, they never gave me a medication the first time. It's a musculoskeletal issue. I think it's a curse a troll put on me. A curse from a troll, the wrath of God, results of years of unhealthy eating. Who's to say what's going on with his leg? But he's been talking about it a lot lately.
My foot and wrist really hurts, so I'm gonna stream later tonight instead. Peace, y'all.
Well, Gabe, I'm sure it's nothing. It's not like you have a history of amputations and diabetes in your family. If memory serves, his pops died from a stroke in his 40s. Anyways, food for thought. We're not even done reading this set of leaks. At this point, I should go fuck myself. I'm sick of being in pain and getting into constant arguments with my family. At this point, why am I still here? No one wants to hire me. Even my fucking family is starting to hate me. I am just sick of my shitty ass life. When told that it gets better, he responds, I fucking hope so. I'm tired of living like this. I think God either gave up on me or is putting me through something. He then goes on to show this person a picture of boxes that have been constantly sent to his house for the past couple of months. Apparently they're all empty and he's received hundreds of them, turning his yard into a rat paradise, something that his neighbor expressed concern with. That was the end of that particular set of leaks, and of course this was all followed by one of Nova's infamous WWE entrances. If you don't know what that is, a quick explanation would be that every time Gabe gets betrayed by someone, aka they leak their messages, he will do a WWE entrance trying to look tough, while accomplishing the exact opposite. I don't know if you could tell by that set of messages, but things between Gabe and his mother have deteriorated rapidly. It seems that she's fed up with him, and I can't blame her. She was disabled before she got an amputation, and even after, Gabe has done nothing to help her out, along with disrespecting her every chance he gets. Nova had the audacity to repost a TikTok where someone was talking about how their mother was not treating them right. I want to make it clear that he posted this after her amputation, but not before the news of it was made public. He's not giving his mother any form of grace for her new situation, let alone any kind of help. In fact, he's doing the opposite, shit-talking her to millions of people. I also think that this repost was one of those emotional manipulation tactics that he was trying to use on the coworker, trying to appeal to her bleeding heart. Oh, my mom's so bad to me, help me move out. If you need more proof of Gabe being emotionally manipulative, look no further than what I'm about to show you. A post he made about orange soda. For those who don't know, in his most recent leaks with Alice, he broke down in tears because he lost one one of his friends, and after threatening himself, he begged her for an orange soda. But now, a couple of weeks later, he's taken the piss. That just goes to show that it was not at all a serious situation, and that Gabe often whines and cries to get his way. Then he'll turn around and act like he's this great victim. A prime example is the so-called harassment files, a supposed document where Gabe is covering all of the trollsome comments that he receives from people. In this TikTok post, he claims with the rate of hate messages he's getting, Sad Boy Eats might become more common, and the harassment files is gonna be ever growing. The harassment files are a bunch of cope. Gabe thinks that a police officer is gonna take these and hunt down all of his trolls, but it's really just gonna be a useless pile of junk that the police couldn't even use if there was probable cause. Nova thinks that it scares people, but I've seen nobody act like they are. It's more of a running joke at this point. What isn't a joke is Nova's current state of health. He's been constantly talking about how his arms and legs are hurting.
Also, my arm is writhing in pain right now, so if I sound pissed off, it's the pain. Blame the pain.
And it seems that the mysterious wounds have reappeared on his arm, worse than ever.
The garlic chicken actually contributes to the spice a little bit due to the intense flavor of the garlic. And I also think there is some onions in here as well. And I also forgot about the tomatoes. This sandwich is wonderful. I always get the grilled chicken when I go to this spot.
I'm not a doctor. I have no idea what's going on with Gabe, but it seems pretty serious. The rapid weight loss and then gain, accompanied by the mysterious wounds and supposed pains throughout the body. Not a good recipe if you ask me, and I think a lot of the blame for his current state of health is his diet. Gabe claims that he's still making home-cooked meals, like in this Twitter post where he claims his aunt complimented his cooking. A complete lie, by the way. Gabe has been endlessly reviewing fast food items. I don't think I've seen him do a cooking video in over a year. So my point is that Gabe is lying about so much and hiding even more. It seems like for a while now, Gabe has been getting his TikTok page spammed by bots, most likely trolls that are attempting to get his TikTok account banned. He's been ignoring this for a while, but now it's actually starting to bear some consequences, and he is terrified of losing his main account.
Hey y'all, I'm sorry, I had to make this video, like, right now. Fuckers are spam engagement my account buying fake saves. So, hey, follow my backup, please. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Nova has stated many times in the past that he relies on his TikTok income to make what he calls a living, so trolls threatening this probably has him under more stress than usual. It also seems like Nova is pretty broke. He's grown reliant on people buying his biohazard bracelets, and also grown reliant on the charity of others. Gabe would start posting videos where he ate factor meals, trying to rebrand his eating content as healthy, and Nova has actually been eating these things, but we know due to the interview with the coworker that he's not paying for them. She was. The next big thing to happen came around the end of June, and it would sadly be something that Nova would celebrate. Bloodspeth's Twitter account would be banned after a spat involving him and Gideon. Popular theory is that Gideon's fans spammed his Twitter into getting deleted. Well, Gabe would celebrate this heavily, making a post on Twitter. Rest in piss, fake Speth's X account. It won't be missed. El Bozo. But Gabe's massive amount of unoriginality is not what brings us to this post. It would be the community note that Twitter staff left below it. Gabriel Gage, also known as Nova Online, operates this account. He has been accused of grooming several minors and has documented visits from the police over the risk he posed to them and people who highlight his behavior. Gabe is becoming extremely infamous. More and more people learn every day of his predatory actions, and it has severely impacted the way that he behaves on social media, and this post I'm about to show you is a perfect example of that. After consideration, I will no longer be rating other Twitch streamers after my own streams due to my trolls, ruining my and other streamers' experience. Sorry to the real fans. Fuff you trolls. Apparently, Nova had tried to raid another streamer on Twitch, which is where you end your stream and send all of your audience to another one. And when the streamer found out who Gabe was and what they'd done, they were disgusted and disavowed him. It warms my heart that such information is so readily available, because sadly, most people just know him as the cringy TikTok Discord mod, and not the extremely predatory Discord mod. And make no mistake, Nova hasn't changed. This predatory behavior continues every day. Recently, he was discovered in another Discord server with minors, sending pictures of himself and talking to them. He also recently proved that he was the person that tried to dox me. Most people assumed that it was him after his IP was pulled on the farms, but it's now been confirmed beyond a shadow of a doubt, with the discovery of a secret YouTube channel that Gabe was operating. One that went under the same name as the one that tried to dox me on the forums. But Gabe somehow thought he could conceal his identity with a voice changer.
If you have not read it yet, I am not going to be using my real voice
or showing my face because it embarrasses me that much. But today we're just going to be doing a 10-minute uncut clip.
At the end, you can hear Chin Universe fixing the audio to make it sound more like Gabe. It's 1000% him, and it proves that there's really no length that Gabe won't go to get back at people that he views as wronged him. He's such a hypocrite, sitting down claiming that people are harassing him and his family while going out and harassing families himself, ones that don't even have any connection to him. It really just speaks to Gabe's general attitude of not caring about anyone else. As long as he gets what he wants, he doesn't care how much anyone else has to suffer. People are nothing but props in a universe that he believes revolves around him. But that universe will swiftly change. Mama Gage will not be here forever, neither will the TikTok checks. And when they're both gone, he will have nothing and no one, but he's got no one to blame but himself. The future will be incredibly difficult for Gabriel Gage, and a big step towards that future happened very recently. Needless to say, the Novine universe is falling apart. We are witnessing the end of an era. We just don't know it yet.